Hello. So I wanted to take a moment. For those who are interested in coaching with me, I like to have a little bit of information. At least for me, if I'm the one who's exploring any kind of service, I'd like to know what it is I'm getting into. So this presentation is for those who are curious and just want a general sense of what coaching entails. So the areas I cover in coaching, because I'm a health and wellness coach, so I like to say that I help people become stronger sensitive. So we cover areas that include having a spiritual practice, which can include meditation, mindfulness. As an instructor that has, I'm trained in MBSR, so mindfulness-based stress reduction. I've had years of practice in yoga therapy. So I can testify to just how powerful it can be to have some kind of a practice that links you to something that's larger than yourself. Having time to recharge. And I don't just mean this in a loosey-goosey fashion, but really working together to carve out time every day that is unscheduled time for you. We cover relationships, although I want to be clear, I'm not a therapist. I am a coach. The areas that I work in as it relates to relationships include effective communication strategies, getting comfortable being assertive in your communication, as well as having healthy boundaries. Having a creative outlet is the next thing that I can also touch upon. There's plenty of research that talks about the power of having a creative outlet, and this is specifically true with highly sensitive people in particular. Nutrition, it's really hard to thrive and have a sense of vitality if you're not eating in a way that fits your body. Growth, and it's sort of getting into areas where you're getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Maybe you want to go for that new promotion. Maybe you want to get comfortable with, public speaking. And so the growth exercises that you might be interested in going through, it's really about not trying to just push yourself out of your comfort zone, but increasing your capacity, just gently pushing the boundaries of what your comfort zone entails. And we also can touch on exercise, as in physical exercise, and of course rest, which, fun fact, Elaine Aron recommends that we get 8 to 10 hours in bed, a full day off from work, and 6 weeks off a year spread throughout the course of the year. Wow, it's a tall order. So my philosophy in coaching, you are the expert in your own life. That is my philosophy. So you remain in the driver's seat. You remain the person who decides what we focus on, where we go, what areas you want to see improvement in and transformation in. I'm your co-pilot. So we're partnering together. You're the one who's deciding where you want to get to in terms of your destination. I can certainly be helpful in terms of helping you navigate. I can be someone you bounce ideas off of. I really and truly believe that most of the time, people don't need me to tell them what to do. They know, but it's really just about having someone ask the right question or reflect back at them in just the right way so that people realize, oh, okay, yes, I do know my best next step. It's really kind of leaning on methods like motivational interviewing and so on that are really intended to help you tap into your own wisdom. Having said that, I do have a master's degree in health education and holistic health as well as in nutrition. So I do have tools and I can provide some measure of guidance if you want that. But I will always be very clear, hey, I'm taking my coaching hat off right now and I'm putting my consulting hat on. I have some ideas for you if you want to hear them, but I'll always ask permission. I do want to say too, though, coaching is distinct from consulting as well as therapy. So with consulting, that's more like you're going to a physical trainer and he's telling you what to do. Or you're going to a business consultant and he's telling you what to do. Consulting is something I can put a hat on to say, hey, I'm putting my consulting hat on, but it's not coaching. I'm not coaching when I'm in those moments. Coaching is also different from therapy. So therapy is really about, if you're feeling stuck, it's about going into your past, doing some digging and getting clear on your own patterns. What is it that's dragging you into, keeping you anchored into this spot? What's keeping you from moving forward? That's where therapy can be marvelous in helping. Coaching is what you engage in when you have the now what question. You've done the work. You've gone to therapists. You feel like you're an expert in every area of patterning you've ever, indulged in. And you're standing there and you're saying, okay, that's great, but now I want to move forward. And I think I know what I need to do, but I just feel really overwhelmed. And I feel like there's just this avalanche of information. And in a world where I can Google anything and YouTube anything, it's not about what I know. I can find any information I need. It's about what I do with what I know. It's about having accountability. It's about having support. And it's about having someone help organize my next steps so that I feel like I'm being supported the whole way and I have the confidence to really put forth the transformation I want to see. And so what does coaching include? It includes private coaching or access to a private coaching portal where all our coaching notes will be safely stored. I also email these notes to you, just so you're aware, but I like having a space where you can access and have access to all of the notes we've ever engaged in. You have lifetime access to the Healthy Sensitive community, which that's ordinarily $10 a month, but you would get that a lifetime for free. And then discounts on all master classes in the future. If this sounds interesting, that is awesome. I would love to schedule a complimentary discovery session with you where you can get a sense of my coaching style to decide if we're a good fit. We can talk about what you're most interested in seeing transformation in. And, this is a coaching call. These discovery sessions are coaching calls. I want for you to walk away with something that you didn't have before we spoke. And we will at the end of that talk about the logistics involved in coaching, sessions, the numbers, the costs, the scheduling components. All of that is something we can talk a little bit more about, but I do want to make sure that you understand once we're done with that session, I will not ask you to decide if you want to engage in long-term coaching on that call. It really is intended to be a coaching call. I will, of course, would love to work with you, but I want to be sure you have some time to chew on it. So I will, give you the information at the end. And if you feel, you get to chew on it, think about it. I check in with you the following day just to see if you want any additional support, if long-term coaching is something you want to engage in. If you decide then, yep, I'm in, let's do this. Awesome. Let's get going. I really don't want anyone to walk away having buyer's remorse. And although I know a number of coaches, even the coach I work with, that's how she does her calls. When we do the discovery session, she gets me excited. She's like, "Do you want to do coaching?" And I say, "Yes." She's like, "Great, this is what it costs." I'm like, "Okay." And then the next day I feel bamboozled, and I'm always glad that I did it once I do it. But I honestly think that if I had been left to my own devices to think about it first and then get back to her, I still would have said yes. I just would have appreciated having that time and space. So I always want to provide that for folks that I work with in those discovery calls. So I'm so excited to speak with you. Please, please, please go ahead and schedule a time. You'll see there's a calendar below this video. Set up some time. Let's get to know each other. If we're a good fit, great. And if we're not, maybe you can get some ideas for where you want to move, to take next steps moving forward. Or maybe it'll be a great introduction to coaching so you can get a sense of maybe who you might want to work with in some other capacity. But so excited to speak with you. Please go ahead and schedule that complimentary call.